I'm going to be showing you how to create a selective color edit in Photoshop. So in your selective color folder, you're going to want to highlight the image that you want to use, and you are going to right click and open with Adobe Photoshop. Another way to open it is simply to double click it, and that image will open Photoshop. Once your image opens up in Photoshop, you're going to be looking, here is our background image, which is the image here. And what we're going to be doing is adding an adjustment layer. And right here are our adjustments. If for some reason you don't have this adjustments panel, if you go up to Window and choose adjustments, it will then add that in. So whatever is showing over here has this check mark. So the adjustment that we're going to create is a black and white, and so if you hover over these, it will tell you what kind of adjustment layer it will be adding, and we're going to click on black and white. And when we do that, what that's going to look like is it's going to add this extra layer here, and it says black and white. And you can see your color image is still here, and then this new layer on top of it is black and white. So what we're going to do is we see the properties here, and these are the properties of the adjustment, and this is the properties of the mask. And so these are the properties of the adjustment, and this is the mask. So right now the mask is highlighted, which is okay, and we can see the properties here. I'm going to go ahead and pull this down. You can, in your preset, your black and white preset, you can go in here and you can kind of click on each one of these and see which one you like best. And just like we did with our camera raw, we're only really looking to see what kind of black and white do we actually like that is not what we want to keep in color. So I'm going to keep this flower in color. So I'm just kind of looking to see what these other flowers look like as I move through these filters, basically. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose the green filter, I believe. Yep, the green filter. And once I'm somewhat satisfied, I can go into these reds, yellows, greens, these colors here, and adjust the individual. So if you look at the yellow, so I know that these petals are yellow. So if I adjust, it's only adjusting the yellows in my image. So I want my petals to be pretty white, and my greens, I want to have it be a little bit darker. And be careful, because as you start adjusting these a lot, if you look at this section right here, it looks very mottled. And so I'm going to bring that up to the point where it's not super mottled. Okay. And you can adjust these. As you like. Okay. There we go. Some may not adjust, and that's just because you don't have much of that color in your photograph. Once you have a black and white that you like, what you can do is you are going to click this button here and have that go back into, and this is your properties panel. So you can adjust this layer by just clicking that properties panel there. Okay, so now what we're going to be doing is we are going to, over here in the tool panel, we are going to click on the brush here. And we are going to set the brush up. We want to use a specific brush. And so we're going to click in here, and we want to set our brush at about anywhere from 50 to 70% hardness. This is the size. And again, with the size, You can use the bracket keys. The right bracket key makes it larger. Hold on. The right bracket key makes it larger and the left makes it smaller. Okay, so as you work, and then also something to know too, we've got the percentage. This is how large our image is showing within our screen. We can do Command plus plus and we can zoom in, or Command minus minus to zoom out. Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're all on the right brush. So if you go to this drop down here, under your general brushes, we want to make sure that we have a soft round brush. Once we've chosen a soft round brush or hard round, either one is going to work fine. Then we're going to make sure that we adjust anywhere from 50 to 70% here. But we want definitely a round brush. Okay, and then I'm going to click here and I've got my brush. We definitely want to make sure that we're using 100% opacity and 100% flow. Smoothing can be about 10%. And from there, what you're going to do is you are going to, I typically like to zoom in, and then you are going to also check over here at your color picker boxes. That's what I like to call them. We want to be using Photoshop default colors. And the default colors are right here, the teeny tiny little ones. So anytime we use what's called a layer mask, this white sheet over here, we want to be using either white or black, not any tones of gray. So you don't ever want to click on here and choose a white or a black because it's not the correct one. So I'm going to choose this and press OK. So it looks like black, but it's actually not because it had that red tone in there, as you can see here. So I'm going to make sure to click on those boxes again, and that is what's going to bring the default foreground and background colors, that black and white. And notice that my foreground color is white right now, and I've got a white mask. So if I take my brush and I start coloring, nothing's going to happen. That is because I'm painting white on white. Okay, so what I'm going to do over here is there's this little curved arrows, and if I click that, it will go back and forth, and we want to start as black as our foreground color. Another way you can switch your color picker switcher boxes is that you can press X, and X on the keyboard will switch those. Okay, so black is going to bring back the color. And as you paint, you can see over here on your layer mask, it's starting to add black. Okay, so the black, think of the black as like a hole in your mask. Okay, so your mask, this white sheet, is the black and white. Okay, and you're poking a hole in your mask, which is the black and white, and that hole is showing the color underneath. Okay, so the same thing goes with Camera Raw. I can color pretty quickly when I color large spaces. Okay, and then when I go in and get a little bit more detailed edges, I'll want to zoom in and take a little bit more time and care on that edge. Okay. Once I have an outline, it's a little bit easier just to go there. And I typically, when I work, I like to do that outline I keep pressing that. And then fill it in. Okay, so now let me show you what will happen if I color, if I create a hole in my mask. Look at the black now. The more I paint the original color back in, the more black shows here. So the black is the color and the white is the black and white adjustment. Okay. So let's say I go in and I accidentally color outside the line. Okay. What I can do is over here, I'm going to flip my foreground background color and have white as my foreground color. And since white on a layer mask, or this layer mask happens to be the black and white adjustment, then painting white will bring back that adjustment, which is the black and white. Okay, so as you color, you're simply going to flip the color picker switcher boxes back and forth and color white and black until you're done. Okay, you're going to stay on this layer. And once you're done coloring and getting those edges really nice and clean, I will be grading on craftsmanship for this, because this is what this project is all about, is having that intention of what is color and what is not, and taking the time and care to make it look nice. So once you're done, you're going to go to File, Save As. And the first time we save this, we're going to be saving this twice. Hopefully yours doesn't take so long to pop up with the save options. There we go. The first time you want to make sure that you're saving it in your selective color folder. And we are going to actually rename this. And so notice that it says .psd right here. You want to keep that. And I'm going to delete this, and we're going to call this selective color 1, because we're going to be doing 2 in Photoshop. So selective color 1. Okay, down here in the format, we're going to keep this Photoshop. It's the first option. Okay, that way if you need to make changes ever, you'll be able to open this file up and make changes. And then we're going to save. Okay, then you're going to go back into File, and we're going to save as again. The reason why we're saving twice is because our website only takes JPEG images. Your Photoshop file will not upload. So this time, notice how it carries the same name up here, but the format is still Photoshop. So we need to change this format to JPEG. Okay. So I'm going to click on here and choose JPEG. Notice when I choose JPEG here, the extension changes up here. Okay, don't ever mess with the extension. Okay, only the file name. So you have to leave the .jpg or PSD, whatever it is up there. Okay, because if you change the format here, it will change up here. Okay, so once it's a JPEG, we're going to click on Save. And baseline standard, quality 12. You'll click OK. It saves, and then you can X out of Photoshop here, and you should have your 2. Here's the Photoshop one, and here is the JPEG one. Okay, and you can see I have 2 here because I just wanted to go through the save options with you all. So there we go. So this is your Photoshop one that you can go back and edit your mask. And this is a flattened version of your Photoshop file that you can upload to the internet to post your images. And there you have it.